Okay, here we are. I'm going to start bullet number 2 test, 7mm Valkyrie. We're going to be shooting the 130 spear, and I'm going to start this time with the lower velocity. So I'm starting with the 400 yard velocity, and I'll work my way up. I went to a new fresh block. I've got the old block as the backer. Okay, I just shot the low velocity 130 spear. I shot 2, one for a test fire to sight it, and as you can see they're 1985. And entrance wound here. I hit a little farther left than what I wanted, but we didn't bust out of the block. Come around to this side. And you can, it looks like it started expanding right away. We've got a wound cavity through here. We got a piece of lead here. And stopped expanding. And you can see the bullet right there. Okay, here we are. And penetration was 20.5 inches. Again, this was 400 yard velocity, 7mm Valkyrie 130 spear, and I think we'll dig that bullet out right away. We've got the measurement. And there we go. Talk about a nice specimen. Again, that's through wildebeest hide. And looks like we're going to have pretty good weight retention. I'm sure it lost some. I see a little piece right there. But at 400 yards, that much penetration, I have absolutely no qualms about shooting a deer with the 130 out of an 18. At that distance. We can take a look at the top. You can see the wound cavity. Let's measure the height of the wound cavity. Okay. Looks like we got about a 3-inch wound cavity. You can see the spiraling of the bullet from the petals in there. And the permanent wound cavity looks like it starts at about 1 inch. And permanent wound cavity goes to just about 1 foot to right here. That's 1 foot, and it holds, and it's 3.5 right about there at the widest part, but you can see it does. Okay, there we go. That's 400 yards 130 spear. Okay, had to change cameras. One GoPro took a crap. Okay, we're going to go on to test number 2 with the 130 spear. And we're going to do the 300 yard matching velocity. Okay, here I am just after the second shot with the 130 spear, and we have a velocity of 2191, which simulates 300 yards from the 18-inch. Okay, so now we have the block, superior wound cavity through there. I rotated the block, of course. Entrance wound up there. Looks like we got 3-inch wound cavity. That stretches about 11 inches. And I don't know where the bullet's at. Hope we didn't lose one, but that back block is getting pretty ate up. We're going to take a pause and see. Okay, here I am. I'm going to do one more shot of the 130 spear at 300 yards. I didn't catch the last bullet because it popped out of the block at about 24 inches. So we're going to try it again. Okay, I didn't get penetration. The block was mutilated. I took it apart, but it had exited the bill. It exited over on this side of the block where it was blown out. So I don't have a bullet. I've got one more, so I'm going to shoot it again and try and catch it into the block, so I have a bullet for it. We'll go over the wound cavity on this one. As you can see, it went through. This block is getting eat up pretty good, so it's pretty much done. And there you have it, 130 spear, 300 yards, and we probably had 25 inches of penetration in the gel, and it popped out. And I'll redo that test once I get all done. If I have time or have any block left, I'll redo that one. Okay, I'm bouncing backwards now. Poor performance of the 140 Sierra Game King soft point bowtail at lower velocities. The last one was just about 2100 and it still penetrated all the way through. So I'm giving up on that bullet. I'm going to cover a couple more spears because the spear didn't look too bad. So I'm going to try and get off the 200 and 100 yard. I'm going to be doing the 200 yard this time, and hopefully we catch that bullet. We didn't have luck on the 300. But I'm going to have to make some bigger blocks. Okay, I just got done shooting the spear 130 at the 200-yard velocity, which looks like it's 23-24 is what I got. Okay, we had an entrance wound here, and good wound cavity. Look at the wound cavity. And we can see we're shedding pieces there. Piece right on exit, and there's the bullet. Here we are. Get the tape to stick. And 19 3/4 inch penetration. And the bullet looks really good. Looks like minimal separation. It's in there sideways. But it did some damage. It opened it up. There's some pieces in there. And it's just I'm really liking that 130 spear as far as hold together and velocity range. It's looking really nice. I'll take that spear over the Sierra any day of the week. See that our permanent wound cavity right at 4 inches. It would have been more than that if it was that high in the block. And the length of the wound cavity starts there. Looks like we got about 10 inches thereabouts, pretty close to it, of a permanent wound cavity with a few shrapnel in between. So looks good. Okay, here I am going to do the last test for the 130 spear. And we're going to do it at the 100-yard velocity and see what we got. I've got the bullet here. I'll do a close-up here in a few minutes from the last shot, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I just took the last shot with the 130 spears, and it was 25-24. That simulates, I'm pretty sure 100 yards. Anyway, it's 25-24 from the 18. And looks like it pounded the block. The block jumped pretty good. Get all the camera shut off. Okay. Pretty devastating here. Really hammered the block. Entrance wound was here. I can already see the bullet, so we caught it. But look at it. We have some shrapnel through here. It was exiting. And we can see the bullet is right there. Looks like it went right along where the 140 went. And the tape isn't cooperating, but the bullet's right there. And we're at, looking straight down on it, we're right at 19. We're like 18 7/8 inches penetration. So that's 100-yard velocity, 18 7/8 inches penetration, good wound cavity, a little fragmentation, but for the most part you can see the bullet is mostly together. And I'll dig that one out a little later. So now we've got 3 recovered bullets for the 130, and I'll take the 130 performance over the 140 any day of the week. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion.